As a New Zealander, as an individual, how are you handling this present day government, the Ardern government, with the same approach to what you read, and a lot of people are still alive who experienced what happened in Germany in 1930. And this government, along with the Ardern woman, is going to have to start explaining why a new education program is teaching our primary school children, yes, our primary school children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, about white privilege. The promise of our country is to value each person as we find them and value their human dignity without prejudice. A policy that asks children, this is absolutely amazing that this crazy government, this Marxist, communistic, getting close to Nazism, is saying they're asking their children to apologise for their colour. Is that not the worst form of bigotry? Think about it. We have a government that is directing the education system to have these children, white children, stand up and apologise for their colour. This is so disgusting in my mind, so evil in my mind. How does it affect you when you think about it? How does this affect your thinking, your common sense and your common decency? Because there's sure to hell no common decency coming out of the Ardern government when you have this bigotry being pushed by that Marxist bird. Dressing it up as anti-racism is absolute hypocrisy, which is everything that the Ardern and that government stands for. Every human shares 99.9% of their DNA. Government policy should focus on our common humanity and the challenges we each face as we go through life, instead of racially profiling children. What are you meant to say to a white child who may have no money or no food at home, is probably abused, face a learning challenge or any other challenge? How is it that their colour makes them privileged regardless of their individual circumstances? This government's latest attempt to push its version of the treaty and co-governance in education is an absolute disgrace, being introduced in schools in Te Puke, Wellington, Nelson and Southland. This program has a radical goal: transformative changes to indigenous and decolonise the education system. New Zealand children deserve a positive and inclusive education. No child should have to be apologetic about their creed or colour. But this crazy Ardern government is placing so much on creed and colour, even to the point that they are dividing even the responsibility of the administration in this country between colour, the Maori brown and the rest of us. It's concerning that such radical and divisive ideas are being introduced into the curriculum without the government first having a wider discussion with New Zealanders, particularly parents. And would you expect that from a Marxist? Would you expect that from a power-hungry, greedy, control freak? Of course you won't get that. This is exactly what we've seen in the past in history, and we are going down that line right now. And the thing that amazes me, and it really, in fact, just pisses me off, is that the teachers will accept this without a murmur. The teachers are so bloody friggin' gutless, they will accept this knowing full well, unless of course they're complete woke and they're in the wishy-washy world of this dreadful Prime Minister of ours and her henchmen and her lapdogs. So what are the teachers supposed to say to a white child who may have no money or food at home? Are they still privileged? This is ridiculous. It is evil, evil, evil. And as longer as this government stays in with the Ardern and her lapdog wokists, this government is becoming even more evil. And it is interesting to see that even overseas reports being written about New Zealand are not at all in favour of what is happening in New Zealand, and the word has gone out from a number of people who used to live in New Zealand stressing that the parents should certainly be planning their children to leave New Zealand as soon as they are ready to do so and make a living, make a life, and get themselves established anywhere else in the world except New Zealand, because everyone can see that New Zealand under the Ardern woman is on the path to completely dumb down our children for this Marxist rule. And I'm so pleased personally that I have all my children, except for one, but the rest of the family plus my grandchildren are certainly not living in this country that is being run by so many evil people. We should all be really offended that these wankers, think only white people are successful. What about yellow privileges? They worked hard with nothing and achieved something as well, you know. Where is their recognition of having a yellow privilege? This whole thing has become so sick and so evil. It's to the point that many of us had colleagues and acquaintances who were far different in backgrounds to you and I, and their skin tones were certainly different to that of ourselves. But I think we can all say that they were and are all massively successful in their own right. I can only say that we had massive mutual respect for each other, and we still do. Not going to have that destroyed by these pack of wankers and this Ardern woman with her Marxist ideas and ideals, her atheist beliefs, which of course is no beliefs except she's only wanting power. She's only wanting to change this world to her silly little way that she had been educated and brainwashed throughout the years of spending far too much time at university on useless degrees. This is a bad time for New Zealand, and the sooner we get rid of this Ardern and this dreadful government and these hangers-on, the better for New Zealand, the better for you, the better for I, and certainly better for the whole population, except for those who really are the privileged few, who are sitting there as elitists and waiting for these changes to take place so they can actually pocket far, far more wealth for their back pocket and for their families.